So, as to be expected, we've got 3 more Saints Row social media videos that have been posted showing us off details that should have been in the trailers originally. Obviously, I'm kidding, don't worry, I'm not going to get all salty Saints Row fan. But I do think there's a lot of dissectable information that we really should have been shown earlier. And yeah, I'm going to talk about it. So, at the moment, we have yet again another, near enough full minute of gameplay to talk about. So these, as I'm doing them in 3 video parts, if you missed my other part, it's back on the channel on my uploads. I think it was my second most recent upload, so make sure you go watch that first, because I cover a lot of stuff in this. But yeah, we have 3 more videos to dissect, look into, and talk about. So yeah, let's get into it.
I just throw myself in front of cars, and the harder they hit me, the more money we get.
Alright, so before we get into it, I do want to just quickly say something. You guys know I love Saints Row, and I've done my hardest to defend and, you know, understand every single move they have done. And, you know, while these trailers aren't bad, I can't lie to you guys. They're a little bit annoying, to a certain degree. Now, I'm not going to sit here and hate on Saints Row for this, because it's just a style I'm not a fan of. And, I think that when you hear what I'm about to say, you're going to be really confused, because I made a video praising Watch Dogs, literally, I think it was my last upload. So, it's going to be a little confusing, but hear me out. This sci-fi shit needs to go. This whole overly technological gameplay style, I don't like it, quite honestly. I'm seeing a lot of weird mechs and fucking robots and shit, and all these weird abilities where I can fly into the sky out of nowhere because of the wingsuit, and then I'm seeing all these sci-fi wall-banging grenades and stuff, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I do not want that in Saints Row, and I know that people will hear that and go, well, you sat here defending the game, and I have. But to me, these 3 trailers have been the most underwhelming and almost damaging for me to my opinion towards Saints Row, because it's looking very sci-fi and it's looking really futuristic in a way. And I don't mind technology in games when it's done right, but having an ability like throwing something at the floor and launching yourself really high into the sky is not something I like. Now, if it's something like Watch Dogs does, where you can control technology that's legitimately real and understandable, then it's different. But this stuff to me does just come across as kind of annoying, and I'm not a fan of it personally. So that's just my personal opinion on them. You're welcome to disagree, I know a lot of people will. But yeah, let's actually talk about what we saw inside of them now. So, starting off with the weapons trailer, I don't think this one was too bad, and I would argue that it's one of the least offending members of this whole sci-fi thing. I think the next video is definitely way worse. There's some things I really didn't like. I didn't like how some of the weapons seemed just kind of lasery. It very much reminded me of, you know in Saints Row 3, you know those SMGs that when you put the armor-piercing rounds on, that they're kind of blue shooting? All the guns kind of look like that, and it kind of just looks a little bit like a laser weapon and really high-tech. And I'm not too big of a fan of that. So that's all the negative stuff really out of the way. And that wall-banging grenade as well, where I can see through walls and x-ray stuff. But that will probably be something I can avoid in-game, because I never use grenades in Saints Row anyway, really, if I'm honest. But on to the positives. There's some weird Saints Row Fleur-de-Lis bat weapon, which I think looks really cool. I saw some sort of assault shotgun looking weapon, which I think looks quite cool. The SMGs look fairly average and nice. There's a MAC-10, which I'm sure will make a lot of people happy. The double barrel shotgun pistols look cool, and I think they're pretty good. One thing that also upset me, sorry, I know this is quite a negative video, but I am just trying to get through it, sorry. Is that in one of the clips, the boss is shooting some sort of robot thing from Marshall. I really hope that's like a boss fight or something and not a common occurrence, kind of like the brutes were in Saints Row 3. Because I really don't want to be shooting mechs, because they were the most annoying things in Saints Row 4 as well, like the mech guys. So I'm just praying that this is just a very simple like showcase, and some of these things won't actually be implemented in the full game. But who knows, maybe it'll play a lot better than I'm thinking right now. This is obviously just my opinion. Well, with the next trailer, I think this is the one I'm going to be quite negative over, and I want you to just hear me out, okay? This entire trailer shows off things I do not like. It had a grenade that launched a guy straight, like, super high into the air. Not a fan. It had some sort of thing you throw on the floor and jump on that boosts you into the air. Not a huge fan. It showed off the wallbang grenade again. Not a big fan. There's just lots of, like, sci-fi futuristic stuff that I was not a fan of. And then the worst thing I saw in the trailer, you have flaming punches, and I understand that that's supposed to be like a cool thing, but for me, I just, that's gonna really annoy me. Like honestly, let that be some sort of like special up or like a power up or something, okay? Make that be like my boss's move when I click a few buttons, because quite honestly, the flaming punches are not something I'm a huge fan of. But besides that, most of it was pretty cool, and I do think that the game still looks okay in that aspect. I think the abilities and powers, I think, it does say powers you can choose, and just know I will probably be choosing to have none of them, if I'm being honest. I'm not too sure how I feel about them. They may grow on me, kind of like the CGI did. They just need to grow on me, I think, and I think that as time goes on, I'll understand a bit more. Anyway, thank you for watching that, and let's get into the final video. Okay, and then the next trailer is really good. I actually quite like this one. It shows off some things like insurance fraud, how activities are going to start, and all that stuff. So it looks to me, from what I saw, like you'll walk up to an NPC, you have a brief conversation with them, and then an activity will start. I like that it makes the whole game feel a bit more like natural. Even though it won't be completely natural, because you're obviously going to be like, okay, can I now jump in front of cars for money? It does sound a bit weird. But I do think it makes the game just fit, like, the whole natural vibe, and I do prefer it a lot more than walking over to a marker and clicking the button, so that's good. It showed off a bunch of cool activities, like the one where you drive the toxic waste around, and honestly, I think that this is the best one. I do think that this trailer does give me a bit of hype, and yeah, I think that this was a pretty good trailer. I do want to just quickly talk about my thoughts on the game overall, because it's been a little while since I've given my actual thoughts. I think the game still looks great. I think it still looks absolutely amazing, and I think that the gameplay we've actually seen looks good, but I just think the marketing has been a bit of a flop for it, the whole thing. But it is improving now with these weird, like, daily trailers. It does not feel like I'm being left in the dust here, and I can appreciate that. While some of the stuff in these trailers weren't for me, they might be for you, and I do hope you get more enjoyment out of it than me. I don't think they're necessarily bad as well. I just think they're not for me in some aspects. And by the look of it, most things will be quite choosable and things that I won't always have to use. So, you know, I like to feel free with my options, and I do feel like that. Anyway, I don't think these were too bad. I think there were some things that really did, like, tick me off. But besides the small things, game still looks great. These trailers looked pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Saints Row has coming up for the next 3 days. Anyway, I'll catch you all later when I next upload, which could be any time. To be honest, I'm kind of inconsistent. Bye.